G'day everyone, SIZ Dog here for Nostalgia Button. I'm here at Trippy Trades because Trippy Trades have come on board as Nostalgia Button's first ever sponsor. We've got a discount code for all our loyal subscribers. It's Button15. Throw that into trippytrades.com.au and you will get 15% off store-wide. Check out their website. They've got everything from PS1 to PS5, Xbox 360, Xbox One, all the Xboxes. Button 15, store-wide, Trippy Trades. Get on top of it, Buttoners. Oh yeah! G'day everybody, SIZ Dog here, and we've got
the J-Stick JXT.
You may notice we're not in Nostalgia Button's house tonight. We're not in the Button house, we're at JXT's pad. And we're here to look at your collection, and I'm so excited because, man, we've been trying to tee this up for a little while now, about a year or two I think.
And my collection wasn't ready and I had to move house and I wanted to have things perfectly set up because I'm very OCD.
Yes.
But I think we're ready to go.
We're ready to go. So as you can see behind us, we're gonna take everything in. We've got some wrestling video games and VHSs and videos in the main house. We're gonna have a look at as well. I might even ask JXT to open up his closet.
The skeletons, you can see them in there.
Because there were a couple of things you were showing me earlier that I think could very well, be very interesting for the video.
Just scratched the surface too, so that's scary.
Yeah, there could be quite a few more things. So let's start the journey here on Nostalgia Button with JXT and his collection. All right, we're here with JXT in the JXT's collection room. There we go, getting the gimmicks in. So what do we have here? Let's go to the top shelf first. What is this up here?
So this is my WCW mint on card shelf. These are just a sort of a few oddballs. It was really cool actually. Fans have bought me all three of these figures here. I had Jay, who's an awesome fan, get me this figure after I worked Buff Bagwell in a match.
Oh wow!
So Jay got this figure signed the night I wrestled Buff Bagwell, and then a few weeks later actually gifted it to me, which was really cool. And it's like a sort of it's always cool to watch WCW and I can be like, yeah, I worked that guy. Like for me, being a big Nitro Mark and WCW fan, like that's pretty cool.
Where did you work Buff Bagwell?
It was at a Battle Championship Wrestling event and it was a tag match against him and Robbie E. I got my favourite part of the match, so I was like, this is as close to wrestling on Nitro as I'm ever going to get. He picked up both my legs and he's looking at the crowd and he gave me the old stomp to the midsection. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, this is the best.
Your childhood dreams were coming true.
That's as close to get wrestling to Nitro as I'm ever going to get.
Wow.
But and then
we've got this forearm smash Macho Man. So what are these figures called? Are these the OT?
These are the original San Francisco toy makers.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry, I should be educating. I know my stuff. I should get it right, right? So yeah, these were the ones that these were after these bad boys here.
Yes.
Which, if you look here, this has got a KB Toys tag on it.
Oh, so this is from the States. This isn't even from Australia.
Fruity Williams, another good fan of mine, bought me this.
Wow.
Yes. So I didn't have any of these series, original San Francisco toy makers.
And that's what the OTSFM or whatever.
Yeah, that's what it is. Like original San Francisco toy makers. OSFTM, yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, I love the KB tag. I think it's super cool.
Oh,
been marked down at $3.99. Look at that.
So is that someone actually just written that with pen? Or
no, I reckon that's a print because the 9s are the exact same.
Okay.
Being a graphic designer who studied typography, I'm gonna put money on it.
That's an actual font.
Yes, but still cool. And this is like the heaviest one, being the giant. And like I always worried he's gonna snap off the bubble, but these old school cards are pretty good.
They're really tough. Yeah, he's not going anywhere.
But no, I don't have any of those. You know, like the toys that made us, they had Jewish lightning on, and he spoke about. That's what these were, and then they originally migrated to these, which had the vibrator version.
Now these aren't the vibrating ones?
No, I'll show you the smash if you want. See on the back, you've got the little
gimmick there.
Yeah, so it sort of spins in the box, like it doesn't do much.
Oh, so it's like a little puppet.
Yeah.
He's got a little action in there.
Buff's got one too. his is different. It sort of just swivels.
Oh, look at that.
See?
Oh, wow. Yeah, so his arms move. They're trying to to figure out how can we make these more playable
exactly
for kids.
See, the reason I don't have any of these ones, I collect what I had as a kid. So as a kid, when I started collecting, my first 3 figures was a Bone Crunching X-Pac, which is over there, we'll get to later.
Yep.
I had this Kevin Nash and a Slam and Ring Fighters WCW Booker T. So I got them 3 on the same day for my 5th birthday.
Right.
That's where the markdom began. So these figures, I don't sort of have a special place for me nostalgia-wise, but they were all gifted to me, and especially the buff ones.
So that's very, very sentimental.
Yeah, big time.
So now we come to your Smash and Slam Wrestler Mint on Card collection. Now, is this the entire range, or is this just a select few of them?
It's almost. So these figures had a ton of variants. As you can see, there's a variant of Sting, there's a variant of Hall, there is a variant of Luger, which I don't have. It has a black and red Wolfpack NWO shirt. There's a white Macho, which you can see over here, but that's the one from the 2-pack. There's one that also comes in the singles pack that I don't have.
Okay.
There's I've got all the DDPs. There's the shirt on, shirt off in the small pack. There's the Hollywood Hogan. There's the Wolfpack Elite Hogan, and if you want to look over here, this is only having loose. That's the dark tan variant.
Oh, that's what the Major Pod boys always talk about.
Yes.
Now I'm actually seeing it in person.
So
he's very dark tanned on that one.
Look at the difference in the tan.
So different.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And Hogan tan's something to be, proud of.
You want that hot dog,
That's the tan. Yeah.
So this one is probably the best kind of one here. That one's probably the more true to life tan, do you think?
No, I reckon
Hogan,
this one, because these are original Wolfpack. Original NWO. Normal tan, Hogan tan.
Okay.
This is NWO Elite Hogan after the Think of Doom.
Okay.
So that's what I mean. There's so many versions. Like there's 3 Hogans. There's this Kevin Nash. There's another Kevin Nash which I have loose. He's got blonde in his hair and he's got black tassels.
Yes.
There's normal Goldberg, which I don't have. I only have the exclusive. So this is Freddie Williams again, the same fan that bought me the Giant.
Yep.
Got me this, and of course it's from KB Toys because it's a KB Toys exclusive.
Oh, look, it's even got it written on the box. Look at that.
Look, if you see his shirt, it's actually KB Toys on the shirt.
Oh, wow. So underneath that rope there,
if I angle it up,
actually says KB Toys on it.
I don't know if you can see
We can get in there, but you can definitely see exclusive there.
It says KB.
Oh, yeah, I can see the logo. That's hilarious that it's not like he would go to the ring and wear that shirt.
And he comes with an X-Men barbell thing, because Marvel Toys or Toy Biz at the time made the X-Men figures as well. So that is a random ass barbell that actually was originally molded for an X-Men figure.
And they just repackaged it and threw it in with that Goldberg.
Yeah, and so the original Goldberg comes with a red Rey Mysterio, which is called Masked Superstar. See, this one's, the Giants one actually says Rey Mysterio, which has a Walmart sticker. Sorry, we're jumping around here.
Yeah, no, that's cool. This is all great stuff.
But there's a Goldberg with a red Masked Superstar. There's Goldberg with a blue Masked Superstar. Super hard to find, so I need that blue Masked Superstar. I don't even have him loose.
So yeah, but it's pretty almost complete, this collection.
Almost. It's gonna be hard to find. And the weird thing about these, if you notice, see they have NWO logos, red
white
ones, white ones, WCW, but this figure was released even later, which is why it has the new WCW.
New logo. That's why it looks different.
Yes, so these figures all came out around 1998. This one was, I think they were early 98. This one was late 98. Which is why, and this was like a later set. But I love the box art too. Not only is this like, I started watching as a kid in 99. So as these figures were already on shelves, I started becoming a fan, and then this was everywhere. WCW in Australia was bigger because it was on free-to-air TV. So we were all big WCW fans. And yeah, just the box art alone, like the green and purple, I just think looks so cool.
Yeah, and I really dig these like holographic kind of stickers in the corner.
Yeah, and it's weird, not all of them have it. So that makes me think maybe only the later ones had it, or I don't know.
That is sick.
Because if you look here, we might have just realised something. That's a variant, that's a variant, that's a variant, and they only have the stickers. It just says official licensed WCW products. I don't know.
So maybe they're the chasers. Maybe that's how they denoted the chasers,
Maybe,
by
but
putting
the-
those
but
stickers
the
on
wall
them.
doesn't have it, so
No, that's true.
Yeah, but that's the thing. There's so many of these. It's like, that's one set.
They mess
You know
with your
what I
head,
mean?
man.
Like, except for these Slam and Crunch ones, this is all one set. And it's
So let's talk about these Slam and Crunches real quick. So we've got Kevin Nash and we've got Perry Saturn, or just Saturn as he's written here.
Yep, in the dress. So yeah, this is just the latest set of the WCW Toy Biz figures, and I just happened to stumble across them, and I thought they'll go cool with the collection. They have the same background in the box art,
Yes.
which I was like, yeah, they fit, they go well. I'm just feeling this one's missing its tag. Lucky Jay, I think I bought this off, and he got this from Japan, from Masahiro Chono's store in Japan.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
And the sticker's been taken off there, but this is the...
But again, this was
Different
released later than them ones as like another standalone, and yeah, it's just smaller packaging, which is weird. These are all empty.
Just the empty boxes,
Yeah,
just in
one
case you
pallet.
want to move house again, you've got the box to put them in.
I know, but like, I hate how they changed the packaging. Like, if they all just stayed like this, I would have had them all, and it would have looked cool. Or but I
They
get
love
it.
changing the
I
packaging.
know they have to. Eh?
Down here we have a little mini arena setup, it looks like.
Yeah, so this came with the NWO Elite Hogan, and just an old Jack's ramp. I thought these are my guardrails from when I used to have the Fig Fed as a kid, and they're actually from when I used to work at Safeway or Woolworths. They're the in between the shelves dividers.
Oh!
And when they were throwing them out, I was like 18 and still had my arena set up, and I was like, can I have some of them? And they were throwing them out, like, have as many as you want.
And they're perfect for guardrails for your
Perfect.
arena. Look at that.
Yeah.
I love that kind of like intuitiveness. Like, you know, this is going to look perfect for an arena for a wrestling ring.
As a kid, like, I used to just build arenas, different stage, different arena, different rings.
Yeah.
You know, I built a 6-sided ring, I built a 4-sided ring, I built a bigger one, a smaller one. I just loved it. I did a double ring thing at one point. I've got a bunch of custom JXT figures. I've done them myself. Like, there's one from when I first started there.
Oh, yep.
And then as I got a little older, there's another one.
And so
you
these
can
look
sort
like
of-
Ruthless Aggression style figures.
Yeah, which is, other than the Toy Biz figures, my favourite, just because that's what I grew up on.
Yeah.
And then there's a bit more modern.
Oh, that's like a Triple H head.
Yeah, and you tried to do dreads with real rope.
That's actually come up pretty good. Look at that.
And I made this figure here. This is another Aussie wrestler, Damien Rivers. So these two I made together because we had a wrestling figure death match. So the promo for the wrestling figure death match was we playing with the two figures of ourselves.
Of yourselves.
Doing spots and moves, and we had a match and we slammed each other in figures, and I hit a maximum aggression. CM Punk, I smashed him over the head with it.
Oh.
You know, we had cards and we were paper cutting there. It was and there was light tubes and a few other things, so I got a bit old.
And then
It's on YouTube for free. Deathmatch Down Under, JXT action figure deathmatch.
dude, I went to a couple of those Deathmatch Down Under shows, and they are full on.
Yeah.
They're really full on. I felt like at the end of it, it was hard to blink because it was all the light tubes, the fluorescent light
Yeah, if
tubes.
you're sitting up close, it's full on.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not going to do a death match. I will do a wrestling figure death match. It'll be a bit of comedy. And then eventually, by the end of it, I'm getting powerbombed and smashed in the face with light tubes. And I'm like, yep, that's okay, cool.
This is Deathmatch Down Under. I signed up for it.
So, but we got into it.
Oh, no, these customs are sick, man. That's just super cool.
Actually, one of the fans from Sydney D, she actually made this JXT shirt for me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she made that with a bunch of other little shirts and stuff for me, which I thought was cool. But yeah, this ring is from when I was a kid. I've actually got a second one in there, but I still kept it. It's in good nick.
Yeah, that's sick. Nice. All right, let's have a look at our next shelf over here. We're going to go to this side of the room. We'll go up to the top again. And we've got another custom figure here. More like a Mattel Basic, I feel.
I'm gonna forget his name. Thomas Rickard made me this, another fan.
Nice.
I reckon he would have been about 13, 14 when he made that for me. He
Yeah.
got like little bio on the
Oh,
back
look at
and
that.
everything, yeah.
That's great.
Gifts from fans are the best, so like, obviously being a big wrestling figure guy, when fans make you figures, it's the coolest thing ever.
That is absolutely the coolest.
Yeah. Obviously this isn't the ringside exclusive Taz because I wanted the figure for my Fig Fed, so I bought a second Taz just to put in the box because Taz is my favourite wrestler of all time.
Right.
So, well, it was I reckon I was 15 years old at the Armageddon Expo, the one where Sabu and Taz were at. I got that signed. It's been open because again, I've never kept my figures mint on card as a kid because you play with them, you let them breathe, right? Let them breathe.
Let them breathe.
But I bought this figure from Goat Jeff at Go Figure Collectibles at his stall at the Armageddon Expo. I think it was 2014, and it was $40 at the time. And as a 14-year-old, that was the most money I'd ever spent on a figure. And I remember it being like massive. And I didn't buy it first. I was like, it's too much. Mum and Dad will kill me.
Yeah.
You know, I can't spend $40 on a wrestling figure. And by the end of the day, I kept looking at it, I'm like, this is the only chance I'm going to get to have my favourite wrestler ever. Because it was the exclusive. It was the only Taz in the ring gear as a Ruthless, which...
And so that has been opened and then put back in?
That's a deluxe aggression, which I put in. The actual figure's there.
Ah, there it is over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, because I was thinking it was meant to have that towel, and there was a whole controversy about how the towel left a mark on his body or something.
So the original run, they had the towel around his waist for some reason, because they got it mixed up with the Val Venus figure that also had that.
Ah, and it's meant to be on his head, obviously.
Then the later ones that came on the side of the package, which luckily I got one of those ones, so there was no black marks on my figure.
Perfect.
They were all sweet.
Nice. And then we have these, like, tall figures up here. Look at these.
And they still talk. They're tough talking wrestlers. And they interact with each other.
Bring it on. Goldberg, I'll slam you through the mat. I'll spear you, Nash. Goldberg, Wolfpack is forever.
See, they talk to it, and if you hit them to it, well, they make...
My arm will tear you in half.
Like this.
Goldberg, I'd like to see you try.
Do you remember that commercial?
That's insane.
Yeah.
I've never seen that before.
They've got like this sensor thing, and they sense each other.
I dare you.
And they like have a and then they make like you. Wait. You hear?
Yeah. Oh.
Crazy. But yeah, they talk to each other.
That is wild. And these two do the same thing as well?
Yes, except sadly these two don't talk.
Ah, these are the only two that still work.
Yeah. I'll see you next time. That's him turning off.
Perfect.
So yeah, and they're pretty good. Like they don't randomly go off.
Yeah.
And yeah, they talk to each other, which is cool. But I just love that they're literally the same WCW Toy Biz figures, just bigger.
Yes.
So like,
and you've got the box behind there.
Yeah, and they're the same molds and everything. So there it is. He's off now too.
They've just made them bigger. So possibly these could have been the 2-ups, and they made them into toys.
Well, yeah. Well, if you know Sean Ing from KWK, he's making the Hasbro style.
Yeah, KWK Heroes.
He has the Kevin Nash 2-up prototype from the Toy Biz figures.
Oh.
So I like sort of keep tabs on where everything is. I have no money to buy them. They're way too expensive.
Right.
But yeah, so they were all made as 2-ups. They used them for these. They used them for the Toy Biz. They used them for the little micro bendies, the mini figures. So the same when they did this original run.
Yeah.
Here's one. So see this box here. Smash it. So I don't know if you can tell, but these figures here are actually the 2-ups in the pictures.
Oh, look at that.
So look at the Goldberg's articulation there in his arms compared to there. That's a 2-up.
Oh, yeah, you can see the difference.
Yep, same as the Hogan. His arms there, and look at his arms here. They're not the same at all.
Wow.
So yeah, these on the back, same 2-ups. And that Sting, there's 2 different versions of the Sting head. That was the first one.
Yeah.
And see the ring's even different. But all the pictures of the original Smash and Slam set, I've forensically looked at these. They're all 2-ups. Yeah, which is weird. I think Sean Ing had that one too, but he definitely has the Nash.
Wow.
Yeah. And but yeah, they use those molds for so many different things, and they use the same packaging. So I just love that it all sort of fits together.
Yeah. And so you've got this limited John Cena figure in the front of this display. So yeah, tell us about that. What's this?
So this is the Australian exclusive John Cena. There was a Rey Mysterio as well. So I bought, when I seen the Rey, I bought one. It's Rey in all black. I have him loose in a tub somewhere. There's a Rey in all black, and it's in the same sort of small package. And then there's this Cena. When I seen the Cena, I bought 3 of them because I knew what they were as a 15-year-old.
Right.
Sold one on eBay for like $150. Sold another one for like 80, and I kept that one for myself.
Oh wow.
So it's not too different to all the other Cena figures, but like it's the same, only one with that shirt and everything and that.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was Australian exclusive. It came out Australia. I don't know why they did them. They didn't announce that they did them. You just had to know what they were. And there
just
was a
limited
Rey
edition. Boom! Look at that.
But I sold the Rey because as a kid I was like $60 for a wrestling figure. Like that was big money. I could buy 3 figures with that. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But yeah, it says a limited edition. That's about it. And that.
Super cool.
But yeah, if you know what they are, that's the Australian exclusive stuff.
Jack
being an
specific.
Aussie, we almost got ripped off with wrestling figures, so I thought
we never get any exclusives.
Well, I can. Yeah, I'll look into it.
Wow.
I don't know why. I just happened to like. I love Sting. He's one of my top 5. But I had this figure when the TNA figures come out, which ended up being quite cheap. You could get them everywhere.
The Legends of the Ring TNA Sting.
Yep. And
So it's interesting. He's got Crow Sting on the packet, but then Surfer Sting in the box.
And that's because TNA. So these weren't TNA figures. They were Jack's Legends of the Rings figures through TNA. TNA could only do depictions of guys. So because Sting wrestled with this attire in the NWA, they could make the figure. They could only use photos that TNA owned. So
Right.
that's why they have to use the TNA 2008
Photo.
Sting photo. Yeah.
See how it all works?
And then we've got defining moments. This is V1. V2 defining moments. They swap the boots for the proper boots that don't have the laces.
Oh, so that's interesting. So I actually own this Defining Moment Sting.
You know which one you got?
I don't know. I have to go check
I didn't know
home.
either. Shane Hero, who's our ring announcer at Mayhem Pro, who's got a mad collection too. He alerted me to it.
So there's something going on with the laces here, is what you're saying?
Yeah. So my surface thing's at the back. But I'm not gonna. If you look here, there's the
Surfer Sting over there.
Oh, there's no picture of the figure. So yeah, there's a Sting boot mold,
Mm-hmm.
and he's got no laces, which is what he was meant to have. So they did a running change.
So this is the one that is not right.
Yes.
The
this
one
is
without
V1.
laces is meant to be the right one. So I'll go home and I'll put a bit of B-roll and we'll see which one SIZ
See
Dog
what you
has.
got. But the other one, my loose one is the same. My loose one also has.
It's got the laces.
also has the
So the
laces.
version 1.
And I have a good feeling that's just because that's all Australia got.
Well, there you go. That's probably you have the same one as me then.
Yeah.
Because I have a great memory when I first started getting into wrestling figures, about 4 or 5 years ago. I was at Toy Kingdom and I was just looking through the figures and I had my daughter there and she would have been about 4 at the time. Mm-hmm. And she's like, "Hey Daddy, what about this one?" And she grabs it from like the bottom rung and it's Sting,
And you
defining
You
moments.
didn't see it beforehand.
I didn't see it. And I'm like, "Babe, what?"
Yeah.
So yeah, I've got a special connection to that Sting.
There you go. And so I bought this one originally just because I love Sting. I didn't buy Mattel figures when this came out. And
Right.
I was like, I have to have it. Crow Sting. Starcade 97 is the peak of WCW and the beginning of the end. So like that's the crescendo. So I was like, I need that Sting.
That's a cool
And
figure.
that sort of won me over to start buying Mattels and collecting just WCW figures of Mattel.
Yeah.
So then when this Surface Sting came out, I had to get it. And I already had this and I was like, sweet, that's a nice little Sting shelf there.
It's amazing. And you were mentioning earlier these air
air
fresheners. Look at this.
Oh, yeah.
We've got a Macho Man Randy Savage air freshener
Yep.
with that New School World Championship Wrestling logo. And we also have Hollywood Hulk Hogan
Yes.
of the NWO.
I can't remember his name. I bought it from a referee, Aussie wrestling referee in
Wow.
Queensland. Through Facebook. I just found it on Facebook. It turns out it happened to be a fellow person in the biz. But yeah. But I think
Fantastic.
they're random ads, but they're just I thought cool to have there.
Oh, they're super cool.
They add to the whole thing.
We've got Raven here,
This
WWF Heat.
This is one of the greatest wrestling figures of all time, in my opinion. I think it just, for its time, the detail, how much it is all molded to Raven. I don't think you'll ever be able to top it as a Raven figure.
Because he's got the Punisher t-shirt on and
they-
somehow they got away with
I
that.
think they put an extra tooth in or something. And the
Right.
angle of it's slightly different, but yeah, they got the Punisher logo on. They've got the flannelette. That whole set was all new guys, which is
Oh, look at that. You've
yeah,
got
that whole
Stephanie
set was
McMahon,
new people that hadn't had figures before.
Stephen Richards from Right to Censor, Perry
it.
Saturn, Prince Albert, and Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah.
And then
So
Series 10 there, down there.
that whole set there,
Series
Raven
9.
was all new guys, but I remember that was like a game changer. Even to this day, like it is the best Raven figure by a mile. I
Wow.
just thought, yeah. And I'm a big ECW guy too. So I was like, getting it in the box, I was like, didn't want to pass it up.
That's perfect.
Outsiders, love them. So they sort of don't fit anywhere in the collection, but I was like, I just love them. So I was like, you know what, when I got the opportunity to buy them, I just jumped at it and just kept them.
They're super cool.
Got some Freebirds at the back there. I got this Shawn Michaels. Do you remember originally the CS1 Shawn Michaels? This is yellowed sadly, but it was worth a lot of money.
At one point.
Yeah, and I jumped at it. Mikey J, I bought it from him again.
Yeah, he's
But-
great with figures.
I don't know why they put the belt in there like that. It's the wrong belt. Like the figure's not great, but the classics took a while to come on. But that's so Jax, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look at the first series. They didn't do this in the later series.
Oh, I've never seen that on a classic Superstars figure
Yep.
before with the picture picture behind the text
and the
like
other
that.
ones don't have real pictures. They have the
Pictures
of
of the figure.
Yeah.
So that is quite a unique piece.
Even though it's all yellow, which I hate, but it's
Still cool,
It's as good as
man.
it's gonna get.
Exactly. You got a 3-pack here with the Freebirds, Terry Gordy, Buddy Roberts, and Michael Hayes.
Yeah, and again, like the Bam Bam figure's not amazing. His hair was way bigger than that, and but I just thought that's the only Freebird figures at the time. I think there's Michael Hayes now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought that was cool to have from that shit you were saying there.
That's super cool.
I've got the Broski Funko Pop. I have a bunch of Funko Pops, but I'm trying to sell them. But like I was telling you earlier, Cardona or Ryder is a big inspiration of my wrestling career. The way his YouTube show, then I did my own YouTube show, JXTV. The way he capitalized on his social media. I used to have an Instagram frame. I would take the shows to build my Instagram following. The way he got himself over within WWE through the online show and the fans and his social. I did the same thing back when I was wrestling at MCW. I wasn't really getting the push, but I got myself over with the fans online, so it really helped me. So, on a much smaller scale in Australia, my career sort of paralleled his, and I just drew inspiration from him constantly. And of course, he's a big wrestling figure guy.
So it makes sense to look up to him like that.
Yeah, so even though I get to work World Series wrestling with him and share the locker room with him, and he's super cool, but I think it's just, we've got to get him to sign it. But we'll get there.
We'll get there. We'll get him to sign it one day.
Yeah, I just have that there.
And you've got a Terry.
This is the
A
figure.
signed Hulk Hogan, bro.
Yeah, this is the figure that got me blocked from Hulk Hogan.
Blocked.
So, I made a big thing of it on Twitter. Once he blocked me, I was like, JXT vs Hulk Hogan, hashtag unblock JXT, and fans were awesome. They jumped on it, and it was really cool.
Yeah.
But, got free tickets to this autograph signing Hogan did in Chadstone, I want to say. Hogan came out for this tour. They did this autograph signing. I got some free tickets through wrestling, obviously.
Yeah.
Took my mate and his little brother, who was like 5 at the time.
Sure.
So I was like, your little brother used to be great for him. And I went with my JXT singlet on, my jeans. Before I had dreads, I used to have this big hair. And during the line, it's just wrestling fans everywhere. So people knew who I was. I'm standing on the guardrail doing this shit. Hamming it up. People are taking photos of me in the line as well.
Right.
And I was like, trying to, and I had flyers too, like for myself. Like I was just trying to build my following. Same thing, like,
Yeah.
right, like you're just trying to get over. Like he's Hulk Hogan, I can't steal his thunder, but if I can get a few more followers from the local Aussie wrestler,
Exactly.
and then get to the table, I go up, I just sit on the table. I go, how are you, brother? We do the 2 sweet. He signs my thing photo. It was all well and good, and it was weird. So then we finished that, and Wayne the Maniac Matai, who's a legend in Australian wrestling, was a security guard. Said hello to Wayne, who I'd met before. And Jimmy Hart was there, and I went to say hello to Jimmy and get my 8x10 time. And I was like, oh, hey Jimmy, nice to meet you. And he's like, get off the stage. And I was like, sorry? And I went, and I hammed in the 8x10 because it was a Hulk Hogan and Jimmy Hart thing. And he's like, get off the stage, get off the stage. And I'm like, that's okay. And I was like, whatever. Didn't sign my thing, and I thought that was really weird. We leave, whatever. And I knew the people that were in charge of that tour, which is how I got the tickets.
Right.
I won't stooge them off because they probably don't want people to know what happened. But
Sure.
they get into the limo after the thing, and Hogan's on his socials. And he sees this, and he goes to the Aussie that ran the tour. He goes, who's this? And he tells me, that's JXT. He's a local wrestler here, but he's like, yeah, I don't like what he did. And he blocked me.
Huh.
And there's the story behind that.
So blocked you on Twitter.
Yeah.
So, and in the wrestling world, is that like a big deal? Because I'm not a big Twitter guy, so I don't really get it.
To be honest, I hate when fans are like making a deal. Oh, so and so blocked me.
Ah.
This wasn't me being a dick on Twitter. This was wrestler to wrestler me. I'm not stealing his thunder. I don't know. Is he fragile about his ego when he's Hulk Hogan and I'm a local Aussie?
So he was like, he thought like, oh, who's this guy trying to steal my thunder in the line?
Yes.
I'm gonna block him. And then you've got this fantastic story to go with it now.
Yeah, and it's not what I wanted. Like I didn't want Hogan.
No.
Me, I love Hulk Hogan.
Absolutely.
He doesn't love me. Yeah.
There you go. You got heat with Hogan.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
There you go.
Now we did have this guy just perched in there. Tell us all about this bone crunching action.
3 of my first ever wrestling figures. Got him for my 5th birthday.
Oh wow.
As you can see, like I've white out and painted and
You tried to do his
to do his tattoo later on. Played the shit out of it. That's why
it's super loose.
Not all the bone crunches don't like the bone crunching action only works on like one leg.
Yeah.
X-Pac was one of my favorites as a kid. And, yeah, all the paint rubbed off, so I tried to repaint him. And but yeah, that's one of my first figures, which is why.
And I think that's great that you still have it. Yeah, that's awesome. We've got some AE dubs down the bottom here.
Yeah, so I'm not my wrestling fandom stops in 2011. That's when I started wrestling. So I think you got to separate. Am I a fan or I'm a wrestler? I can be a fan for the stuff I grew up on, but as I become a wrestler, you know, you sort of got to separate. All right, I'm a professional now. I'm a wrestler.
Sure.
But I just thought, you know, like the WCW Toy Biz figures, the first line, I just grabbed these two, just to think like,
Kenny Omega and
it's the first set. I just want to
Jericho.
suss them out, see what they're like.
Yeah.
And then I got them and I was like, I don't really need to open them. And if it's the first set, they might be valuable. I don't know. But I think it's just cool to have some of the first set.
Absolutely.
And they're before the skin got fixed. So
yeah,
they're the whatever it is series. Oh, no, it is. Look, 1v2.
V2, yeah, that's all the only ones we got out in Australia. Because I did the same thing. I pre-ordered them as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, we had that whole debacle and we never got the original ones. So.
Yes. And they took ages to come.
Oh, dude, forever.
I had a friend Dylan get me this when he was training with us at the London School of Pro Wrestling. The exclusive. I opened it.
From ringside? Have you opened it?
Yeah.
Oh, can we have a look?
Yeah, let's get in.
Oh, dude, because I never opened mine.
So it's a bit weird how it works.
This is awesome. While you do that, I'm going to look at this grudge match. Luna versus Sable bone crunching action figure set mint on card. I've never seen this before. It looks like Luna is wearing like
She has like a plastic.
yeah, like a blue bikini, but like a plastic skirt on. And that, oh, look at that head scan, dude, or the head sculpt rather.
That's why I got it.
That's amazing. Yeah, and you've got Sable there, who is just a smoking hot babe.
Yeah.
This picture's not the best, but I think Luna is taking the cake in this figure set right here.
That's why I bought it. I bought that in my first ever tour of the United States in 2016. We went to a collectible shop and I just thought that was the most random. I've never seen it before here.
I've never seen this, and I love the orange and the red.
Yeah, it stands out. I just think it's cool.
Oh man, look at this!
It's not worth a ton of money, and that's more to the point. I had to buy something in my first tour. So.
Yeah, I love the artwork on the back.
And I love how they changed the WWF logo, like the colours.
Oh.
Like it's got a blue scratch.
Oh yeah.
Which I'm sure as a graphic designer, when you get a style guide for a company, they get told you can and can't do this with the logo. I'm sure that would have been a thing they were told they couldn't do.
But they did it anyway.
They did it all the time.
Wow. I'm glad we got to go in depth on that one. And now we're going to have a quick cheeky look at this Le Champion. Nice.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. See, this is before. He has the broken skins on there. You see there's the table in the back.
Oh, yeah. So you can put the table.
Yeah.
How does that?
Lift it open.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you kind of just take them out. Yeah.
And this was cool because this is the only AW figure I've opened. So I just wanted to see, like, now I know when they talk about the joints. Like, what do they call these ratchet joints? They click. Like,
Yeah.
they click. But,
And it comes with the bubbly, obviously.
yeah, the bubbly, the table, and yeah, it was just cool to open it and just get,
olives?
Get your hands on it. Yeah, and the little olives.
Oh my god!
Sit,
Oh, and the champagne actually puts in there.
Yeah, you can put the cups in. You can put the champagne in it. Yeah, it's
dude, you can read.
The olives go in there in the platter.
Oh, look at that!
Yeah.
That man, these are all unique items. They made this one-off for this limited edition thing.
Yeah, and it was for the only AEW figure I've opened. It was pretty impressive. So yeah, now I know at least when they talk about an AEW figure, I know what they're talking about, and I know.
So I think now that you've opened it, you should definitely display it and just have the box in the background.
You reckon?
Because then it looks like, you know what I mean? Like have the box like that.
Like that and stuff.
And then but like I mean, take it all out.
Put the table out,
pull it out, bro.
It's the same thing. Like I said, I have no connection to that segment. I have no.
I guess so.
To
It's just a bit of a
fandom
joke.
wise, but and I don't want to have the loose figures out because I don't want to have to dust them.
Oh, that's true. Your
I can't be
OCD
bothered.
kicks in,
Yeah.
mate.
I can't be bothered.
Well,
dusting
thanks for
them.
opening up
No,
that,
fine.
because that's really, yeah, definitely. I was very curious because I own the same thing, but I've never opened it.
There you go.
So very cool to see this in the flesh. Look at that
this-
head scan. Love it.
This you might just seem like an Orange Cassidy figure. I bought it on purpose, so Orange Cassidy trained me back in 2016.
Oh, really?
Before he was Orange Cassidy.
Oh.
And then when he was Orange Cassidy, if you look it up it's on Twitter and YouTube and Beyond Wrestling, there was an uncharted territory for Beyond Wrestling. It's Orange Cassidy against Jordan Grace. and they picked me out as a fan. I'm obviously a fan because he remembered me from my 2016 time of training with him.
Yeah.
And I body slammed him onto Jordan Grace as a fan. He just picks me out and he goes body slam me, and I body slam him onto it. And then yeah.
So you thought, you know what? I bet he's trained me. I'm gonna get his figure.
Yeah, and I haven't.
Cool, man.
I was hopeful that he'd come out here. He hasn't yet, and I can get him to sign it. Because I think like having that. There was one stage where I'm gonna collect everyone I know or my friends, but then it gets too much. Like I just. For the other wrestlers that are making six figures, it's great, but I don't have the money to collect all my friends.
All of your friends, yeah.
And but yeah, I just thought it was cool at the time.
Super cool, man. Yeah. Love it. G'day everybody, SIZ Dog here. We've come to the end of part 1 of the collection room tour of professional wrestler JXT. I was in the middle of editing this and I could see it was going to go for over an hour. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to split it up to part 1 and part 2. So next week we will see all of the details full of all the Lucy's and his awesome WCW arena as well. So please watch next week's episode to see the stunning conclusion. If you did like this week's episode, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button with your bell notifications turned on, and leave a comment and tell us all about those wrestling figures that we saw today in this week's video. Thanks again, Buttoners. We'll see you next week. Peace. What you buy this week? Did you get some toys instead of the groceries? I wanted this since I was a kid. Now I live in a box, but at least I chased the dream. I gotta intercept that package, or my wife will leave me and I'll end up on the street. Nostalgia.